All right, everybody. We are on episode 2 of How to Grow Your Agency. On episode 1, we talked about the importance of a niche. And I thought it was a great, hopefully an episode for you where you can learn about more on positioning and why it's important to be something for someone instead of everything for everyone. Now, episode 2 is all about essentially finding and attracting your ideal customer persona. Now, the reason most of us don't niche isn't because we don't think we need to or that it won't help us. It's that we don't have a ton of confidence in our go-to-market strategy. So because we don't have confidence in our go-to-market strategy, we kind of accept anyone and anything that we can get. It's usually personal relationships, referrals, previous customers, and we kind of stay somewhat broad for this reason. So what I want you to do instead is first we choose our niche, but now we're going to go get our ideal customer. The first way you do this, and the way I've always done this, was I like to look at my portfolio. So if you are struggling to already choose your niche, or if you have a niche but you don't know how niche down you should be, right? Do you want to be B2B or do you want to be B2B SaaS? Do you want to be e-commerce or do you want to just be strictly beauty e-commerce, right? Like you can niche down as deep as you want. And the way I usually choose this is by looking at my current customers. Who pays me the most? Who do I get the best results for? What service lines or verticals have the best gross margins? And then I start to pick, okay, this is my ideal customer persona. When I was B2B, I found that about 25% of my customers at a certain point were all software companies. I found my team and myself enjoyed working on these the most. We got the most results for these. They paid us the most money. They had the best retention. They were the most profitable. And so we chose to be a B2B SaaS agency. That was 3 years ago. We were around $6 million. And then over 3 years, we got to over $22 million. So I'm going to kind of walk you through how we went from 6 to 22 and what you can do similarly. What we did first was we took all those accounts and we enriched them with Zoom info data. So we took our top B2B SaaS current customers and we enriched them in Zoom info. And from that, what we were able to determine is what of these are 25 customers we have, what's their employee headcount? So I always like to use employee headcount over revenue. Revenue for privately held companies is usually wildly inaccurate, and you're better off using headcount, which you can get from LinkedIn and is usually pretty accurate. So we're using headcount, we're using technology, we're using any type of statistically significant information that says our ideal customer persona looks like this. Then once we got that, for us it was Series A in funding, over 100 employees but less than 500 employees, in the B2B software vertical, using Marketo or HubSpot or some type of MarTech that made them indicative of maturity, and then in the US. That became our audience. We found 10,000 of those when we went back, we put that same criteria into Zoom Info, and we found essentially our lookalike, right? These are all the companies in B2B SaaS that look like our current ideal customer persona. From there, we essentially downloaded that list. Now, once you download that list, you got to manually verify it. Data integrity is critically important. The strategy I'm going to give you on how to grow your agency is based on ABM at scale. So essentially, I call this customer generation. If you want to learn more about it, you can go to my website, directiveconsulting.com, go to the tab customer generation in the menu, and you can see the methodology. This is the same methodology we use for our customers. So essentially, we're using paid social media advertising across Meta, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. Those are our kind of 3 primary channels of growth, because those are the best channels for us to upload those 10,000 B2B SaaS accounts to. So we take those 10,000 B2B SaaS accounts, we upload those to the platforms, and we only advertise to those named accounts. Within the first 12 months of doing this 3 years ago, we held sales meetings with 6,800 of the 10,000 accounts. So this entirely works, and I think you're going to find that this is a critical step to explosive growth for your agency. So look at your current customers, figure out which ones you retain the best, you close the best, pay you the most, have the best margins, and then go upload those to a data provider, figure out all of there's similarities. What makes these 25 the same? Take that data, go back into your total addressable market and find every one of the clients in the world that looks like this, download the data, manually verify it, and then upload the accounts back to your social media channels. And now we're ready to start advertising. So hopefully that helps. And we'll talk more in episode 3 about how to advertise to these companies and essentially where we spend our money. So thanks.